Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays. I'm Mike, and I'm going to show you some stuff that I have in my collection. Cool movies, movies you may have not heard of, new releases, and just stuff that I like, and maybe you'll like. So on this episode, I'm going to showcase the Western Classics collection from Warner Home Video. This set was released in 2008 from Warner Home Video, and got this for a really good price. The prices on it are all up and down if you check eBay or something, but I got this for under $10, so I thought that was a good deal. That's 6 movies for $10, or under $10, and some of the movies I was really excited to get, and some of them I'm just kind of like, man, it might be okay. But just to kind of go through some of them, one of the movies I wasn't so excited about was Many Rivers to Cross. It was kind of a lightweight comedy type of movie. It's basically it's a movie about a trapper going through Kentucky during the early 1800s. Kind of a hunter-trapper person, and he kind of meets, who's played by Robert Taylor, by the way, one of MGM's big stars at the time, and he runs into Eleanor Parker, and they kind of have a chasing each other, blah blah blah, kind of a romance, kind of light-hearted comedy type of western, and it was okay. It wasn't bad, but I guess it just wasn't my cup of tea, I guess you could say. So maybe I need to rewatch it. But one of the movies I was really excited about getting was Escape from Fort Bravo. Awesome movie with William Holden. It's an early movie directed by John Sturges, which you should know by now, that one of my favorite directors. And this is a great movie with a Southerner, Johnny Reb, as he's portrayed in the movie, tries to escape a Union prison during the Civil War, and it's played by, let me read off the cast here first of all. Eleanor Parker returns, she's in this one. William Holden, John Forsythe, William Dermis, Polly Bergen, but yeah, it's also advertising that it's filmed on Ansco color film at the time, so I guess that was a new film type at that time. Anyway, there's he's trying to break out of the prison, so he ends up helping the guys in against the they basically get involved in like a guerrilla war. So both of them are like helping out each other. It's kind of back and forth, like, man, he has to kind of prove himself. But I know I don't do justice to describe this movie, but I'm not going to analyze it in detail. It's a great western. Put it on, watch it. It's great. Escape from Fort Bravo. William Holden's just really good. I mean, this is when he's just starting in the 40s, and I believe this came out in 1953. So he was still making his mark. I mean, I think he first got on the radar of people when he did Sunset Boulevard and stuff like that. So he's one of the biggest stars then. But yeah, it's great western. What can I say? Next up, we have The Stalking Moon, starring Gregory Peck and Eva Marie Saint, which is a really cool movie. Gregory Peck is kind of a loner army scout, and he agrees to escort a former Indian captive, played by Eva Marie Saint, and her half-Indian son to safety, of the Southwest desert wastelands, and so it's basically, you know, they're on the path. It's a travel movie. You know, they're going to have to battle the Indians along the way. Of course, nowadays, you know, it's insensitive how Indians were portrayed sometimes in the movies. You know, and for the record, a lot of movies in the 50s and 60s dealt well with Indians. John Ford did well, you know, with how he would portray Indians. But most of the time, Indians were just these, you know, faceless people that just attacked, and they were bad, and you know, and everything. So, but you know, some of these movies try to portray them a little more like human beings, you know, and stuff. So, but yeah, Robert Mulligan is a director, and the producer was Alan J. Pakula, who they previous year they did To Kill a Mockingbird. They worked together on that. So yeah, pretty good movie. Next up is the 1960 version of Edna Ferber's Cimarron, starring Glenn Ford. This is directed by Anthony Mann, which is, you know, another one of my favorite directors. This has a cast of Glenn Ford, Maria Schell, Ann Baxter, Arthur O'Connell, Little Russ Hamlin, and Mercedes McCambridge. So it's this is basically the epic story that was a great novel. It was filmed before, I believe, in the silent days. I believe there's a 1931 version that won, or 1929 version that won the Oscar for Best Picture back in the early days. So this is a big remake and everything. It's basically, you know, telling the ups and downs of the great Oklahoma land rush back when a lot of homesteaders were looking for their own place to call home and set up a house and stuff and have a life. So there you go. Good movie. Anthony Mann handles it well. Glenn Ford is excellent. He's usually really good in westerns, and he's really on the money in this episode. In that episode. And next up, we got Saddle the Wind. This is a movie with Robert Taylor, John Cassavetes, and Julie London. This is basically a good brother, bad brother western movie. Basically, you know, is a gunfighter. One of them is an ex-gunfighter, and he's trying to, you know, set his life straight and settle down and be good. And his younger brother wants to be what he's trying not to be. So it's basically kind of a, you know, teach his brother the right way. He's wild. So, you know, John Cassavetes plays the out-of-control younger brother. It's directed by Robert Parrish, which, you know, he did a lot of movies for MGM during the day. Filmed in CinemaScope, and it's also based on a Rod Serling movie, or script. You know, Rod Serling, of course, made The Twilight Zone, and Donald Crisp and Charles McGraw round off the script in that. It's pretty, or the cast, I'm sorry. Pretty good movie. I liked it. Now this is probably my favorite movie in the set. The Law and Jake Wade. The Law and Jake Wade. It has the great Robert Taylor, Richard Widmark, good as always. He plays he's a great Western star. This is basically Robert Taylor used to be an outlaw. Actually, they used to be partners, and basically Robert Taylor runs off with the money. Richard Widmark gets put in jail, and Robert Taylor is, you know, feeling bad. A few months later, 8 months later, something goes and breaks him out of the other town, out of jail, and goes his own way again. but Richard Widmark, you know, catches up with him and says, "Where's the money?" You know, and so it's basically a you know, Richard Widmark basically at gunpoint gets Robert Taylor and his soon-to-be bride Patricia Owens to travel through the desert to where he got, you know, where it's hidden. So it's basically a showdown at the end, and the man gets the girl and they ride off. But it's a great story. It's a very pleasing movie, Western movie. I think the Westerns in the 50s were really strong. They were at their peak in the 50s, Westerns, and there was a lot of good Westerns made, a lot of good stars put in Western movies back then, and they either made it or they didn't make it. And I think Robert Taylor does well in the Western role. He's in a few of these movies in this set. I liked him best on this in this movie, Law and Jake Wade. So out of this set, guys, I would say The Law and Jake Wade and Escape from Fort Bravo are the two top movies out of this set. So if you get it for under $10, it's already, you've already got, you know, saving money, because if you're wanting these two movies, you know, this movie alone is going to cost you over $10 new if you find it. So so yeah. Let's see. So look, yeah, it's worth it for those two movies. The Stalking Moon, I would say probably third on there, and then Saddle the Wind, and Cimarron probably goes in there 3 or 4 to tie for third, and Many Rivers to Cross, the last, number 6. But overall, if you can get this for a good price, it's well worth the money. Warner Brothers Western Classic set, 6 films. I got a good deal on it back in the day, and I noticed recently it's at a good price again. So great collection to add if you're a budding Western star or budding Western collector of Western movies. Check it out. Add it to your collection. So yeah, it's worth it. So yeah, I'm into Westerns here in the past, you know, few years. I've been, you know, finding movies and kind of building up my Western collection, because I'm really, maybe with age, I'm really enjoying the Western from the 50s, the movies in the 40s. You know, big fan of Randolph Scott, John Wayne, John Ford. So yeah, there you go. Well worth it. Well worth $10. Add it to your collection. And
From Anne.
And next time, I guess I'll talk to you.
Call me when you're done.
Talk to you again, and everybody be cool with each other. Stay safe. Subscribe to my channel, and there you go. And I'll see you next time, guys, for some more films from my collection.